6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Carol Ann Baldwin is here. The show is called In the Garden with Carol Ann because we're going to talk about your garden. And got some really nice weather happening this week.
Gorgeous.
So good morning, Carol Ann. How are you?
Good morning, Larry. Real good. Real good.
Yeah, I mean, nice today. It's like summertime already,
It's
right?
really not summertime. It's just beautiful. It's a reason we live in Florida. It's a reason people come here. It's
Snow in the Northeast?
Yeah, they can
Tomorrow-
have it.
tomorrow and
Yeah, they
Thursday?
can have it.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to get chilly again
Not too
at the
bad.
end of the week, but that's
Yeah.
it is February,
Yeah.
so you just have to bear with it and
Just one of those
realize
things.
just as long as we're not getting the snow, then I'm doing okay. You
The
know?
bad news is I got to trim my bougainvillea.
Do you need to trim your bougainvillea?
That's the bad news, yeah.
Oh well, it is what it is. That's you just be careful. Get out your rhinoceros hide jacket and gloves to
Those
protect
thorns are unbelievable.
It's almost when I'm pruning something that's small, and I don't wear leather gloves. I wear what do they call that? Almost like a spandex type thing, but they're dipped. So they got the rubber
okay.
palm.
Right.
And surprisingly, I don't know if it's the way I handle things. I don't get poked too often. I try not to, but maybe it's just the way I grab things. But anytime I'm doing something that does have thorns, I cut them in smaller pieces, and you seem to not get bit so bad. That instead of trying to take off the big, long, 6-foot long piece, I might cut it in 6 little 1 foot, and then I can pick them up more without having to wield them about and to pull them out. You can fit them into the wheelbarrow a little easier to stack them to get them out, away or into that pile that you're then going to gather up.
Did you hear the story about the vertical forests that they want to build in China? And I guess they have them in some other countries to fight pollution.
Yeah, I just heard the little blip, but as a forest?
I mean, long story short, it sounds like they're tall buildings that have lots and lots of trees and plants on them.
Right.
And the purpose of that is to provide lots of oxygen and absorb lots of CO2.
The pollution, China has such a pollution problem.
Right. And apparently other countries are using the same idea.
Sure.
You would think that every city, forget the vertical part of it, forget building something, just put lots of trees everywhere. Right,
just take the areas. Well, in places like China where land, and even some of our cities here, the ground level land is at a premium.
Oh, right.
And that dollar value of where that tree could go is something that they don't want to give up. But I think encouraging storefronts to have hanging baskets in front of their stores, or large planters out front, buildings to be able to put plantings on the roof really need to have a specific strength. I mean, it is a different
I would think
way
so.
onto that, because then you're adding, because normally a roof doesn't have to support anything on top of it.
Have you ever seen Carrabba's roof? They have trees on top of their roof at Carrabba's.
Yeah. Which, again, that's just that's taking from probably that whole idea of Italy that they,
this is kind of a left field, far out there question, but is the air quality in a home that has plants better than the air quality in a home that doesn't have plants?
Yes, I think they can actually probably measure that.
I wonder. That's
because of the filtration, there's probably about 12, and a lot of people have been running in. So it was probably an article that was on the television or running through Facebook or something where there's a list of the top plants for cleaning the air. And there's also a list of plants to put in your bedroom so that you sleep better. The plants to clean the air, yes, that works. That does well. The ones for the bedroom, they're outdoor plants that they're telling you to try to bring in. They're not going to necessarily grow real well in that space, which I've had people actually give me almost like dirty looks, and that I'm being mean to them, that I tell them that they can't grow, that their room is too dark.
They don't like your opinion.
Yeah, they didn't like my opinion on that. But no, bringing, and NASA has done it. There is, that bringing plants into the indoors cleans the air and helps to eliminate some of the, especially in like new homes where you've got carpeting, and you ever walk in, that new home smell is actually very allergic to some people. the formaldehydes and things like that that
Right.
are in the carpeting,
Yes.
the smell from the paint,
Yeah.
things like that's actually, you throw some plants in there, help clean that out, and
That's a good idea.
but plants in
Makes
a
sense.
landscape are, in the
Well, if you were going to sell a house, you'd put plants.
yeah, most people
Seems
bring
like
plants
just
in,
make it
and
more appealing, I guess.
yeah, and it's not hard to bring plants in if you have a sunny window in the kitchen, bathrooms many times if they're facing the right direction that are nice and bright during the day, where you're not having to turn on lights. There's certain plants that'll hang in there. You usually need brightness, even in the living room where it is a darker room. I mean, you can put a spathiphyllum, which is your peace lily.
When you were a kid and you drew a picture of a house, like with crayons or whatever, did you always add plants around the house?
And the answer, I always had
Trees
to have
and bushes
trees
and
and
stuff?
stuff. Yeah, you had to.
Yeah. It's just part of what we.
That's part of what we imagine
life
is just grass and bushes and all that fun stuff. But that indoor air quality, that's where it's all at. And now there's been I don't know if it's still a rage or a fad or anything of the living walls in maybe upscale hotels, office buildings, things like that, even outside of them, where the wall is actually channeled out or made specifically, and it's planted. They're plants. They may be bromeliads. They may be herbs in some areas or some things like that. Usually small succulents and things that don't necessarily take a whole lot. They're very specific walls. It's not something the homeowner generally is going to be able to do, only because of the expense. To do something like that. But you can bring plants in walls, and there are indoors, and there are planters that will hang on walls on either indoors or outdoors to bring plants in. The whole wall thing is actually pretty cool, but you have to look it up.
Like it. Yeah,
look it up online, and you'll see them. But it is an expensive undertaking, and the maintenance on something like that is also pretty intense.
And I think I've shared this with you before, that when I was doing activities for the assisted living facility, there was a number of ladies there, and maybe some men, who were very interested in gardening. Good morning, Joe.
Morning, Joe.
Very interested in gardening, and so I would always look for different ways for them to do it without having to bend down or go or even go outside. Just have
sure.
These little,
to have an
and so
indoor.
we had these box gardens, but the problem with them was, where do you put them?
Right.
The idea of hanging them on the wall, that's a really cool idea.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm trying to remember what it would be.
But that's a really nice idea. It sounds attractive, and it sounds probably even easier to reach. To maintain it.
On some of that, it would be. I'm trying to see. What I did was I just did a Google search of living walls indoor, and there are some sponsored things where they've got shop for living walls on Google. There's a couple of advertisements. I'll click on one of them, and I hear some music that we got a quarter-hour break here. And
it goes fast. All right, if you want to call, by the way, this show is an interactive show. You call in 622-9622. We'll take a break and be right back with Carol Ann Baldwin. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. Tuesday will be a warm, humid day with sunshine followed by increasing clouds. Look for a shower or two this afternoon, the high 78 to 82. Partly to mostly cloudy and mild Tuesday nights with a shower in spots along the coast, low 60 to 64. Wednesday will be warm with intervals of clouds and sun, high 80 to 84. Thursday, partly sunny with an afternoon shower, high 79 to 83. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Some of the biggest mistakes made in pruning and how to avoid making them. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Citrus growers battle many pests and diseases, but none have been as serious as HLB. Now there's help. MycoShield from New Farm will help combat and suppress HLB in your groves. MycoShield contains calcium oxytetracycline. Oxytetracycline is an active ingredient with published data supporting significant activity against the bacteria that causes HLB. MycoShield is available for use on your Florida citrus per a Section 18 emergency exemption. Joining Champ Dry Prill, Champ Ion, Abamex, Nuprid, Ultra Flourish, and Fostril, it's part of New Farm's comprehensive lineup proven against the most devastating citrus pests and diseases. Don't let your groves or operation suffer from HLB. Buy MycoShield today at a Florida New Farm retailer. Visit MycoShieldFLRetailers.com to find one near you or visit newfarm.com for more information. Observe all directions, application rates, and precautions on the Section 18 label.
Pruning is necessary to keep our plants and trees healthy and beautiful, as well as promoting growth for years to come. Failing to prune could lead to big problems and long-lasting damage. Some common pruning mistakes include not knowing the right time of year to cut those branches back, improper shaping, or cutting off too much rather than just thinning. Before pulling out those shears, the best way to avoid making mistakes is to know what function that plant or tree serves in the landscape, which portion of the plant or branch should be removed, understanding why it should be pruned, and what will happen once it's done correctly. What you use to make the cut is equally important. Pruning tools should be clean, sharp, well-oiled, and in good condition. Anything that's damaged, rusty, dull, or has ragged edges could be dangerous to you and to your plants. Tools should also be stored in a dry location. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Doctors are trying to find new ways to treat patients for pain without the risk of addiction or overdose, and virtual reality is the new painkiller. Would you believe a simple breathing exercise could help your kids and grandkids be more successful as adults? This is the promise of something known as, quote, mindful meditation, which any of us can try. Did you know you can catch more from a close friend or a family member than a cold? We now know you can also catch a divorce.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
All right, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Gosh, we had so much to talk about just from the break right there. Kathy Isom with the AgNet show just now talk about pruning and the edible walls you just looked up. And
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd gone online and had looked up living walls and went with indoor. Figuring, we were talking about indoor air quality, and there's some few ideas. And I guess they have worked on a little bit of stuff on making these a little less expensive. There are some pages there that are that do have some DIY kind of tips or kits that you can do to do the indoor plantings on the wall for yourself, or even on the outside. And then I looked up another one that says Grow Edible Walls. It's growediblewalls.com. And these ones are, of course, basing it on things that you would harvest to consume.
Right. That's nice. I like this. Look at this in the kitchen. She's got I guess peppers growing right by the sink. Wow.
Right, and just different things that you can do, and just different ideas.
Wow, that's
to bring in. And these ones here, I'm trying to see that says gifts. It looks like a tube kind of thing, or a little mini pocket walls, or
this one.
That these are just simple things they're allowing you to grow in. If you could put dirt in it or some type of medium, we're not in necessarily even soil. If it could be something just to hold moisture around that root zone, you can grow. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. Biggest thing with growing indoors would be lighting. That you're going to have to be looking at possible grow lights and things like that in order to be able to bring enough light in. Or if you have solar tubes in your house, you may have enough natural light coming in, or a bright window, or series of windows. Say you have maybe a bay window that faces correctly, and you can plant on those areas or in those areas, then you can have it. But trying to do the plants, I think it was I think the woman had come in one day, and I've heard it twice. It was plants to aid in sleeping. and to help
Really?
you have a restful night.
Really?
And
Why?
a lot of these plants, well, because some people suffer insomnia.
No.
Why are they?
That why I understand.
Okay.
Why does a plant? Maybe how is the
I guess
question?
it's. I guess what it is part of it. The one that would be the fragrance. The other ones, to me, are just it's cleaning the room. It's cleaning the air.
And that keeps you up at night?
It actually may be causing some allergen issues that you don't even know about.
Wow.
That sometimes, like they say, if you ever vacuumed your mattress, you would be freaked out, on that kind of stuff, that.
I know you would be on mine. No, you
Well,
don't.
and especially when we have pets and things like that in the house and stuff like
right.
that we don't even notice. We become scent blind to some of these things that actually could be keeping us up. But one of the items was, to grow lavender. And it's like most bedrooms that I know of are not going to be bright enough to grow that.
Okay.
So
you
it's
need the
just
lights.
you need a good amount of sun to grow some plants that they were recommending on that. Oh, that and how are you going to put jasmine in the house? Jasmine is either a shrub or a very large vine.
Okay.
Right. And I'm going, come on. Maybe what you need is we all have heard of the baby bath washes and baby lotions that have lavender to help calm and relax our children to have them sleep well. It might be time to be thinking of having those lavender in your own shower, kind of thing
You got
versus the plant.
Phone ringing. You want to take some calls?
Sure, let's.
All right. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning, Carol Ann and Larry and Robin. Christmas cactus.
Yeah.
Mine bloomed, and now it has a whole mess of like little feelers coming out of each of the leaves type stuff. They're probably almost an inch long. Does that mean that I can snip those and replant those?
Yep.
Or is that just part of the...
Yeah, that's some roots. That's some roots coming on. Yeah, you could be able to just break off those pieces and put them down in some soil, and yes, you'd be growing another plant for you.
Now, do I have to position it so the leaves are standing up straight, or
Yes.
just?
Yeah, usually you put them in.
It seems like the roots are coming off the side, and so.
Right. So usually what you would do would make a slot because they're a flat leaf. So you get your little pot of your medium and just take a ruler, a knife or something that make a slot, snip your piece off and just slip that into where it's standing up in there.
Oh, cool.
And you
Good.
can
Thank you very much.
put 2 or 3 in there and you've got another nice pot of Christmas cactus.
Cool. Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you for the call. Phone line's open if you want to call in. The number is 622-9622. Remember, Carol Ann does this show every Tuesday for a full hour, which means we've got 36 minutes left. Plenty of time for you to call and have a chat with Carol Ann. Looks like another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning. Talking about plants and living walls, China is about to build these towers of plants in the most polluted cities to help remedy the pollution.
Right, yeah, Larry was talking about that when we first got on. It's something they need to do because they've plowed over everything that was a green vegetation in order to plant high rises, and the amount of pollution that they have in that country is insane. So it's makes sense.
Anyway, there are people thinking about stuff like that. But anyway, it's amazing. I wonder how tall the towers are going to be, and how they're going to, take care of the plants at a certain,
Oh, it's probably. You can use pump systems and things like that, in order to move your water up to the top of a system. And of course, you get rain. That they are outdoors, but running a pump system to keep them going. Is not unusual. We do verticulture here, as something where we grow vegetables and fruits and things like that, berries, and that's all it is on an automated system that just continues to recycle the water.
Right. I didn't know you heard about it, but anyway, I thought I'd let you ask you what you thought about it. But anyway, have a good day.
Oh, thanks for calling.
Thank
yeah.
you, Sonny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for that story. I don't know if it says how tall those buildings will be.
Right. But I did go through and put it to that website on what is it? Well, let me get the total thing. Is put these 10 air purifying plants next to your bed for better sleep. And this is the list that this lady had. Jasmine. And as they describe it, is a bushing and trailing plant, delicate white or pink flowers. Jasmine's known to lower anxiety. But it's...
Oh, wow.
How are you going
Really?
to plant it in your bedroom? It's something that takes full sun and is a large plant. Lavender, well-known sleep-inducing aromas. It helps to known to lower your heart rate and blood pressure, stress levels. It's shown that reduce crying babies. So, but with that, again, it's a plant that requires full sun. Snake plant is Sansevieria. Real simple. Yes, it's an air cleaning plant. Doesn't take much care. It thrives off carbon dioxide at night, turns it into oxygen. So that's all it's doing is cleaning the air. It is a houseplant. It'll thrive in there. Aloe vera. I never knew that one would actually, as a plant itself, do anything, and except for maybe clean air. And they really don't say within this why it would be a benefit to have it in the bedroom versus out in the landscape for us, or in a kitchen area, because you can use it for burns and wound, cuts and things like that. Right. The next one, number 5, was gardenia. Gardenia, love gardenia, the fragrance. It's fantastic. Blooms wonderfully, here. It needs lots of bright, indirect sunlight. And like they said, they also say it may not be the best option first-time plant carer. It's a shrub. Even the dwarfs, you're looking at a 2-foot tall. It's in a pretty good sized pot. I mean, unless I'm thinking this is a well-lit area, a big area, like you say. Most bedrooms don't have this.
This is a rich man's thing, then.
Yeah, spider plant, great plant for cleaning the air. They can clear up to 90% of the formaldehyde in the air in your home. Spider plants really easy growing.
A lot of people have spider plants.
But spider plants are real, and they will do on that lower bright light kind of thing. So yes, okay, maybe they would do in a bedroom. But most of these I think of hanging in kitchen and sitting areas. Valerian, not even sure. That would be within the herbs section again. I'm not sure if you're going to find it. It requires 6 hours of full sunlight a day. You're not going to get that in a bedroom.
Yeah.
And if you're having trouble sleeping, breathing in its scent will speed up the process. Valerian was one of the helpful part of Valium. I mean, that's part of where they got Valium from.
Oh, really?
Yeah. English ivy. Okay, that can be used as a house plant. The plants known to improve symptoms of allergy or asthma, also translates to better sleep for those with breathing problems. Cleans up 94% of airborne feces and 78% of airborne mold.
There is such a thing as airborne feces?
Yeah,
That's nasty.
That's nasty. Yep.
All right, we'll take a little break. The phone lines are open. Carolyn is on with us for another half hour. Be sure to call in if you have something to ask or say. The number is 622-9622. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Senate Democrats, after an all-night session, still trying to persuade at least one more Republican to vote against Betsy DeVos for Education Secretary. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
It's far past time to put the election behind us and put this president's cabinet into place.
Democrat Al Franken says the hearings were rushed.
Because Mrs. DeVos's crusade for school vouchers would further rob our public schools of these limited funds. I wanted to know her thoughts.
Vice President Mike Pence expected to break a 50-50 tie to confirm DeVos today. The temporary halt on President Trump's entry ban on those from 7 mostly Muslim nations now before a federal appeals court.
A decision from the 3 judges hearing oral arguments today for the case of State of Washington v. Trump could come immediately.
Fox's John Decker. Some experts think the case could end up before the Supreme Court. Fox News. We report, you decide.
My number 2 does not look like a number 2. I don't know what to call it. Is there a number 3?
Table for 4, please. Anything close to the restroom.
A middle seat with these stomach problems? That's my fear of flying.
Sound like you? If it does, you could be one of the many people with a digestive condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms. Frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain. If you have even just one of these symptoms, you could still have EPI, because not everybody experiences EPI the same way, which is why it's so important to open up to your doctor about all your symptoms. And the good news is, EPI is manageable, so don't keep a lid on it. Go to identifyepi.com, complete the symptom checker, and use it to have a conversation with your doctor. Don't keep a lid on it. Visit identifyepi.com. Brought to you by AbbVie.
There are only a few things in life that you can be certain will always be around: death, taxes, the pursuit of happiness, and computers. As they continue to advance at an epic pace, the one absolute certainty about them is that they'll break. It's not an if, it's a when. And when it happens, bring it to the only company in Ocala that's certified in Apple and Microsoft, Ocala Mac and PC Repair. They even offer on-site computer repair service, so they come to you. And if you do drop it off, you can check your repair status online. Ocala Mac and PC Repair is a family-owned and operated company that can do everything from mobile repair to wireless networks, fixing viruses, data recovery, even building and installing new systems. Visit online at ocalamacpc.com. In person, 1713 East Silver Springs Boulevard, or give them a call, 352-566-8324. That's 352-566-8324. Ocala Mac and PC Repair.
If you or a loved one is suffering with knee, shoulder, neck or back pain, plantar fasciitis, peripheral neuropathy, and even tennis elbow, and would like to learn about how there are treatments that may benefit you, go to drjuanyordan.com, then listen in on the first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. and hear from health professionals doing these treatments and patients who have benefited from them. First and third Thursdays, 10 a.m. Next Generation MD, right here on The Source.
Sunrise Automotive, this is Matt.
Hey, Matt, it's Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Listen, we're going to be doing some traveling, and I need to make sure the car is in good shape.
Why don't you just bring it on by? Let us check it out. We can check all your belts, your hoses, your tires, all your fluids. In out of town, is that up north in the cold?
Yep.
Okay. Let's check your antifreeze. Also, let's make sure your washer fluid has got alcohol in it so it doesn't freeze up north, because that makes for a rotten day. And let's check your air pressure in your tires. Let's look at your brakes, make sure everything is safe and secure there. Let's go through it and just make sure everything is ready to go on the road. You due for an oil change?
Yep.
Whenever you come in to get your oil change, we always check your belts, your hoses, all your lights. We go through and make sure that everything is working properly. We check all your fluid levels. We do that every time you come in to Sunrise Automotive.
So just call you back at this number?
Yeah, just give me a call back at 690-1993 whenever you're ready to come in. And you can drop it off, leave it with us, whatever's most convenient for you. Look forward to seeing you at Sunrise Automotive.
All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock, 64 degrees, nice looking day. Let's return now to Carol Ann Baldwin in the garden with Carol Ann. And real quickly, I did look up the height of the towers that they're planning for China, 656 feet tall and 354 feet tall. So 2 different towers, 2 different heights. The taller building will include office space, a museum, green architecture, whatever that means.
Well, green architecture would be zero waste in building and things like that.
And a private club at the rooftop, it says.
So these aren't just, what you're thinking of a tower like we think of vertigrow or verticulture, where these are just stacks and stacks and stacks of trees and shrubs and things like that. They're actually buildings which are holding all of these plants, but they're also a like you said, office buildings. We were looking at the one in Milan, and as what was it? I just read that each oops, where'd it go? On flat land, each vertical forest, now this is the ones in Milan, in amount of trees, an area of 7,000 square meters of forest. In terms of urban densification, the equivalent of an area of single-family dwellings of nearly 75.000 square meters. And they're saying, that creates a microclimate, produces humidity, absorbs CO2, dust and dust particles, and produces oxygen. So it's,
That's a wonderful idea, really.
And as this is going up, because this is many, many stories tall. I mean, that's, and I think these almost look like that they're apartment buildings or office buildings of some kind. Residential towers is what it says. 360 feet. And 249 feet respectively, host 900 trees each, measuring 3, 6, or 9 meters, or over 2,000 plants from a wide range of shrubs and floral plants distributed in relation to the facade's position towards the sun. So it's, and because it's not just at ground level, it's actually kind of cleaning the air.
Oh, it's interesting, isn't it?
Higher above. I kind of wonder how the plants do with that higher elevation.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I'm sure they're looking for, I'm sure that they have horticulturalists that are on that's where they studied to figure that out. Because we can plant plants at ground level. We can bring plants in the home. And that all helps right down here where we're at. But in some, if you've ever seen, news reports and things like that, you look in some areas and that smog is up high. And then that settles down in during different climate type things. So if they're able to clean some of that air up above as that breeze blows or certain air settles, that maybe some of that air that bad stuff never filters down into where the people are.
And it's the one part in the Milan article that you haven't mentioned, I don't think, unless I was daydreaming, is that it also buffers the noise of the city somehow.
That would make sense as well.
I guess I guess whatever.
If you ever noticed, here in Ocala we have trains that run through, and in the wintertime the trains are louder.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Because the leaves are off the trees.
That makes sense.
In the summertime when all the leaves are back on the trees, they don't seem to be as loud.
Yeah.
So it
does.
It does do multiple things. Great undertaking. I wonder how the long term. I don't know how long these have been planted, but we all know that bringing plants, or we should know that bringing plants into our living areas, bringing them closer to us that's just what a plant does. It takes in carbon dioxide and puts out oxygen. We take in oxygen and put out carbon dioxide. It's a symbiotic relationship that you've got to have.
So getting back to that, okay, so we have an indoor plant, and I wanted to connect that to the AgNet report about pruning.
Okay.
Because it sounded like what she was saying was you don't prune, like when I prune my bougainvillea, it's just because
chop.
It's just wild, okay? Yeah. But it sounds like her pruning is was strategic.
It is.
Explain that. What do you do?
Many times it is. It depends on, if you're talking about a large tree, you're going to go through and you're going to thin that canopy, but you're just not going to willy-nilly go through and go, we're going to cut out that branch and that branch and that branch.
I would do.
And you go, ew, and then it looks horrible. Even when they thin them out, it may look horrible at first, but they're taking out the weaker limb and leaving the strong limb, taking out the limb that's crossing and possibly going to rub on another limb so that you're not causing breaks in the bark, allowing disease or things to come through. Roses, we prune to create the shape. When you're pruning a rose, most roses, they tell you to come back. You got your spent flowers up here on the top. It was pretty 2 weeks ago. Now it's just a blah. That we count down 5 sets of leaves and we cut at an angle on that. But you also want to make sure, because whatever's going to come out of there is going to go that direction somewhat. So do you need it to go left, right, to which side do you want that to go? So that might help you select which leaf. smaller trees and shrub, you're still going to do that for the crossed branches that are going to rub when they're more of a permanent planting. Crepe myrtles, we try not to do the crepe murder, please. We've got, about another week or, everybody's getting that chainsaw ready and that handsaw ready to cut those things back to nubs, and it doesn't do the tree any good. It will survive it, yes. It does shorten the life of the tree, though.
And you have some more phone calls coming in. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning. It's Sonny again. I'm driving, so I can't talk as much as I would like to.
Sure.
When I first moved to where I was, you didn't hear or see anything as far as road traffic goes, or the trains. And then as I'm living there, they're chopping down trees, and now you can see, the traffic on I-75 if you stand in the right spot. And, of course, you hear it, especially on a cold early morning with no wind.
Right.
And it's, if I had known that when I was first looking, I probably would have gone someplace else.
And, anyway, nobody really knows.
It's amazing how much trees and everything absorb the sound or deflect it, or whatever the vegetation does.
Yes.
But anyway, still driving.
All righty. Well, you be safe out there today.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Sonny. Yeah, and it is true. I mean, they do act as a buffer. We plant a hedgerow to block not just our.
Right.
Yeah, we're not necessarily keeping our neighbor out because we don't like them. Sometimes it is that reason, but it's also just to buffer the sounds. Who wants to hear the neighbors' kids in the yard all afternoon in the summer when maybe you're trying to lounge in your backyard and read a book? It's your day off. So it's they do act as a buffer. And again, when in the wintertime when the leaves are off the trees, the trains are louder. And like you said, where they've cut down trees, you can now hear the interstate more. And that's something that you would hope that they put some type of buffer in between.
Right.
Yeah.
We do have another phone call. Go on. You're on the air.
Hey. I believe you got to number 7 on the...
Okay. Oh, on my list? Okay.
When you finish, I'll hang up and listen.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, on the list of they put these 10 plants, and they're saying in your bedroom. I'm saying bring them in the house. Bedrooms are hard to get enough light for most of these things. But yes, we had ended. Valerian was what I spoke of. Again, there's going to take a lot of sun, 6 hours a day. Most bedrooms aren't going to offer that. Number 8, English ivy. Ivy is simple. It does clean out a lot of pollutants in the air, and I mean, it's one of those things. I sort of said it quiet. Ivy cleans up to 94% of airborne feces. You don't think of that, as something in the air, but I guess maybe they're thinking, the fly,
nasty,
whatever.
yeah.
It's gross. And 78% of airborne mold. Trailing plant, put it up on a tall shelf, hanging basket, prune it to keep it out of reach of pets and children, etc. The peace lily, also, spathiphyllum, is easy plant to care for. They get pretty large, but you could keep them smaller by every few years. Instead of just transplanting it into a larger pot, when you take it out of that pot, take a nice section that you want to keep, share the others, or put the others in another pot, put it back in your same size pot. Does clean a lot of pollutants out of your air, benzene, trichloroethylene and formaldehyde toxins out. Can increase humidity in a room by up to 5%. It's an easy plant to care for and does prefer low light. And if you let it be a big plant, it's a great plant in the living room, actually, in the corner, by a couch or something. And let me get number 10 in. I know the phone's ringing. Golden pothos. Pothos, another hanging vining plant, or it can be done up as a totem where they put the moss-covered stick in the middle of it so it can latch onto it. You could get those smaller or great big tall ones or create it yourself. They can remove almost 9,000 micrograms of formaldehyde from the air in as little as 24 hours.
Wow.
Also remove 70% of airborne benzene at in the same time period. Air filtration also occurs within its soil. So, like on this one, if you live in the city, consider placing it near your bedroom window to detoxify any air that may be coming in. That's the time of year when you've got your windows open. But and pothos needs light, not full hot sun or anything like that. But the pothos, the peace lily, ivy, spider plant, the aloe snake plant, which is sansevieria, I can see putting and bringing into the bedroom or into the house. The other ones, unless you've got a bright window in a big area, you might be bringing them to a porch.
We have another phone call. Good morning. You're on there with Carol Ann.
Hello.
Hey, good morning.
I have a question about the amaryllis.
Sure.
We have set them out in the woods over the wintertime, and now we're bringing them in.
Okay.
And the new are you there?
Yes.
The new shoots are coming up, but the old leaves are still hanging on. Do we cut those off, or do they die off, or what?
If the old leaves are brown and mushy, you cut them off. But if they're green, you leave them. They're still they're still working. They're still providing food source to that bulb.
We have had some lady palms on the patio here in the back, and we were gone for quite a few months, and when we came back, they were in the sun. That's the thing. They got killed, so I guess the sun did it, huh?
That, and they probably went without water, possibly, for too long. Yeah, they if you had them on a porch and you were gone for an extended time and they were just in a flower pot, we've had a dry winter this year, so if they can't get any rain, between the sun and lack of water, that's probably what killed them.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I guess
Yes.
I guess the amaryllis will soon bloom then?
They should be. Yeah, a lot of them are beginning to bloom in people's landscapes. Usually we don't. I mean, were yours in a pot? Then they were just tucked aside? Oh, okay. Yeah, just getting them out in some more light now and some more, give them a little water. They should be sending a flower spike up anytime.
Okay, thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay.
All right, we will take a little break. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. Tuesday will be a warm, humid day with sunshine followed by increasing clouds. Look for a shower or two this afternoon, the high 78 to 82. Partly to mostly cloudy and mild Tuesday nights with a shower in spots along the coast, low 60 to 64. Wednesday will be warm with intervals of clouds and sun, high 80 to 84. Thursday, partly sunny with an afternoon shower, high 79 to 83. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to tune in to the first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. to learn about the latest advances in healthcare available right here at home. Ocala Regional Medical Center and Strive have teamed up to bring the most qualified medical professionals on the air to answer your questions and bring information to help you in your decisions concerning your health. Again, that's the first and third Thursday. Health matters.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Hey, this is Dan. Let me ask you a few questions. Does your boat look better with the cover on? Has your car's interior seen its better days? Stop using a towel to cover up those rips in the golf cart. Isn't it about time you had it restored to better than new with a custom upholstery from Captain T? Captain T's Upholstery has been right here in Ocala for nearly 20 years, so they know how to make your ride one of a kind. Whether you want to take that classic ride back to a factory look or put your favorite sports team front and center, Captain T's Upholstery is who to call. 352-369-1810. That's 352-369-1810. Or stop by their location, 5030 South Pine Avenue in Ocala, just past the drive-in. And of course, don't forget to visit them on the web, CaptainTUpholstery.com.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Bernie's Day of Fire.
The flyer says Bernie's Day of Fire Car Show and Dino Day, Saturday, February 11th from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
All proceeds will be donated to Habitat for Humanity.
Food trucks, trophies, door prizes, 50-50, pony rides.
I know. And look, cow chip bingo.
Your favorite.
The address is 1 Aspen Road, Ocala.
And the website is Bernies.com, BURNYZZ.com.
Robin, you try the Echo machine.
Bernie's Day of Fire.
Come to the 4th Annual Habitat Strawberry Festival on March 4th, 2017 at the McPherson Government Complex. The festival's goal is not only to have vendors, food, a car show, a kids zone, live entertainment featuring one flight up, a lip sync competition, police versus fire department pie eating contest, and all things strawberry. But to also raise funds to build a Habitat home for a family in our community. Check out the website, habitatocala.org, and follow the link. The Habitat for Humanity Strawberry Festival is March 4th with breakfast served at 7:30. Free parking, free admission.
All right, wow, time flies. 10 minutes left in the show. If you want to call in, you're welcome to. So much information on today's show. During the break, you were saying that you went to the medieval fair.
I went to the medieval fair, and as we were talking about, these indoor plants, and when I've had that chat with that lady who was angry when I told her that lavender wasn't going to grow in her bedroom if her bedroom didn't have enough light.
Right.
I went to medieval fair and I bought essential oils. And you could buy a lavender essential oil and jasmine. I bought a jasmine essential oil and my orange blossom. Yes, I got an orange blossom that smells like orange blossom. It's
so
it's
essential oil means what?
That they have taken the oils, the essential oils from that plant.
So the fragrance is true to the fragrance you would have if you had just the plant near you?
Yeah, it's surprisingly how good that really was, because it's like my two favorite scents. Two of my three are gardenia, jasmine, and the citrus are just. I think they're probably real.
What do you apply them to your body like you would perfume?
You can, or you can take and dilute them some and put it in like a mister and say spray.
Oh, and put it in your room.
You can spray your room. Yeah, you
wow.
can spray a pillowcase. If it's depending on which ones you're going, because they had some, and I thought to myself I should have been nice and bought my daughter the one that says de-stress. That it was a blend of scents that are together that that when you smell these, they help you to de-stress.
So what do they do? They actually press the petals
the plant
or something?
material, all through and process. They do a process. I'm not real
Just
sure.
Squeeze the oil out of it, huh?
And get the oils out of it. I'm sure they heat it and cook it and all kinds of different things. But that's one thought, that if it's a matter that you're trying to sleep better,
right,
you might be able to instead of trying to bring the plants that aren't going to do well in here indoors, find the essential oil or a sachet. If you're going lavender outside, snip some bloom out and bring them in.
That would work better.
Because that's a fragrance.
Okay, that would work better in a car.
Right.
Than that little tree you hang.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, and actually, if you have a tree in your car and you have the essential oil, you could always put a drop of essential oil on that
tree.
It'll hang there, and continue. So I haven't done any in my car yet. I need to clean my car first. So I'm just not
make it smell good
and look good at the same time. But this is another way of that there's soaps that people make, and organic soaps and things like that, natural soaps that have essential oils in them. And sometimes that's your way of getting some of these other items that are that calming, that soothing fragrance that helps you to relax, to sleep better if you're having stressful times.
I never thought about a fragrance to help me sleep better.
No, but they have shown, and they do with children. If you look in the baby aisle, you will see all these lavender-based baby lotions and baby body washes and things like that. That why not get yourself one, or find the soaps that have these fragrances in there. I mean, we think of our Irish Spring and Zest and things like that. They pick you up and get you energized because you're thinking of that shower in the morning to go out the door and take on the world. Well, in the evening, you're after the one that's going to help you unwind and relax. To maybe help if you're having sleeping issues. Of course, then again, there's always melatonin, but I'm not a doctor. I'm a plant person.
Usually, it's the coffee that
It
gets me get up.
Get you going in the morning. Just a real quick, because I know we're running short on time. If today you happen to be in Dunellen, the satellite, the plant clinic will be at the Dunellen Library. We call it the Satellite Plant Clinic. Bring in your plant problems, questions, things like that in there from 10 to 1 o'clock today at the Dunellen Public Library, which is 20351 Robinson Road. The 10th of February, which is this coming Friday, is at the Education Center, the Master of the Possibilities Education Center at the on top of the world has a wildlife-friendly landscaping program going on. Birds, butterflies, bats, hummingbirds, lizards, all can share your garden beautifully by providing water, food, and shelter for them. So there are a couple of different things that are this week that you can do. Also in the store, if anybody's on the south end of the county and or down in the north part of the villages maybe, today, and it's going on, I think it starts at 11, the Master Gardeners from Sumter County will be at that Lowe's store, and they will be doing a presentation on vegetable gardening, mostly on like a container gardening for like your patio and things like that. So it goes again with what we're talking about. And they will redo that again on the 18th. So they'll have that because they're in that store on the first Tuesday and the third Saturday each month, answering homeowners' gardening questions the same way our Master Gardeners in Marion County do within this area. And also, if you have forgotten or you didn't have your paper and pencil, Marion County's Master Gardener Spring Festival is March 11th and 12th. From 8 to 5 and 9 to 4 respectively. Free parking, $2 admission for Saturday and $1 on Sunday. Children under 12 are free. Please no pets. True service animals are always welcome, but we don't want anybody's pets getting hurt or anybody being hurt by someone's pet. There's all kinds of things to do for the children, educational opportunities, both Saturday and Sunday in the garden, talks and demonstrations, as well as in the auditorium if you need a little more air conditioned. We got quite a list, and I'll get through them as the time gets closer on those.
Wow, today's show was really packed with information.
We're going through all of it.
Lots of good stuff
Yeah,
today.
all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, we record these things, of course, and if you want to review it again or share it with somebody, the Carol Ann's podcasts are always on Facebook and YouTube, both.
There you go.
So, and you'll find them on the WOCA The Source. I think that's how you
On the
search for them.
The YouTube channel.
Yeah. And also, YouTube and
the
Facebook.
YouTube channel, right.
I was confused the two. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting how some of them get a lot of views. This one will get a lot of views, I predict.
Oh, yeah,
because there's a lot of information.
Right, and going back and going, hey, she had that list of the plants for to help to, but those are just great ideas to bring plants inside. I mean, I think because we live in Florida and we can plant all of our stuff outside, we forget to bring those things inside.
Is this the time of year when you plant the tomatoes?
Getting ready to. I started my seed the other day for my tomatoes and some peppers, and I'll be starting seed shortly for cucumbers and squash and stuff.
We did a video, remember? A long
yes,
time ago?
Yes, we did. Yes, and you shared that.
What did we plant? Did we plant a dozen of them?
We planted tomatoes.
And we gave them away.
We gave away tomato plants, and then we had tried the seedless tomato.
Right.
And Oksana, I think, was the one who
We should do that again.
Yeah.
We should do that again.
We should, yeah.
Give them away. But if I remember right, like only one...
We had a little hard time here with the amount of light and stuff to try
Are
to
we
get
better
them.
off here than we were in the other studio? As far as light goes? It looks like there's more light.
I'm not sure because we've got such a small area and windows you have to be so careful that you don't fry the plants because the sun
later on in the
through.
afternoon, this room is really
not a lot of
directly
sun.
hit. Yeah. Is that good or bad?
It can be too much coming through a window. That's why a lot of times we may want a bright window to bring light in a room.
Well, what if we
but
hit
if you're going to put a
Oh, stop. That's not the music. What if we were to hide it, Caroline, over there?
Over there, yeah, somebody'd find it, I'm sure.
You think?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Thank you so much for doing this.
We're out of time. What a fast hour.
It's just a great hour, and thank you for doing it, Caroline.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
All right, we will be right back. Matt Gibbs up next, talking about our cars.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Senate